Here in New Orleans, as the city prepares to host its 11th Super Bowl, is the governor of the state, Jeff Landry. Governor, great to see you.
Will, thank you for having me.
This is exciting.
It is. It's exciting. It's been a lot of work. You go back and you think about the countless man hours and women hours and everyone who has worked. We've been working on this for a year or more, and then of course with the tragedy that befell the city on New Year's morning, just kind of recalibrated everything, and everybody stood up, put their best foot forward, and we are ready to put on a Super Bowl.
You know, in that one initial answer that you give me, there's so many places to go to follow up. But let's start with what it's like to host a Super Bowl in a regular year. The logistics, the hotel rooms, the infrastructure to invite this many people into one of your cities here in New Orleans.
Well, look, we had a big challenge because when I came in to the governorship last year, in January last year, New Orleans 2 years before had been ranked one of the most dangerous cities in the world. And we were going to work on public safety, not only in the city of New Orleans, but in Louisiana as a whole. And the legislature and all elected officials leaned in. We worked on it. This city was on the mend, doing great. And we knew that this is our opportunity to showcase, not only for America, but for the world, what a great city New Orleans is. I mean, because the bones here. I mean, New Orleans was here before the country was here, right? And so it is. It is a task.
New Orleans is alive. New Orleans has character. New Orleans also, as you pointed out, has had some concerns over safety, something you wanted to address going into this Super Bowl. And I'm sure that was only compounded on January 1st, on the New Year's Day terror attack. You mentioned earlier, at that point, you had to recalibrate. What did you go back to the drawing board with?
Yeah, look, we did. We were preparing. In fact, my wife said, "Why don't we just go to the city for New Year's, right?" So we were here New Year's Eve, and to celebrate, to see the fireworks, to see the security. Everything seemed to be in pretty good state. Everybody was in good spirits, and then to wake up to that tragedy, and we had to deal with families whose lives have forever been affected, deal with victims, deal with those that were injured, and then an investigation and trying to get answers, and then put on a Sugar Bowl. We knew that we had to say we needed to make sure that for our Super Bowl, we were going to leave no T cross or no I dot.
And really quickly, how did you make that sure? I've walked the streets. I can walk down to the corner. I see the police. I see the military presence. I can feel a sense of security. So what did you do specifically?
It wasn't me. It wasn't anything I did. It was an unbelievable effort of the men and women who served this city, to serve this state at the local and state level, working with our federal partners. We got so much help from Secretary Noem came in, General Bondi came in yesterday. President Trump is going to be here for the Super Bowl. I think that speaks volumes. It was just so many people working together to ensure that Americans got to come and enjoy the Super Bowl.
I wanted to ask you about something that took place today in Washington, D.C. It was a wild scene. School choice has been an issue for here in Louisiana, something you pushed forward for quite some time. Today at the Department of Education, there's been talks of reform, even whittling down the Department of Education. There was protests, some would say even maybe meltdowns outside the Department of Education. Here, Governor, I'd love you to watch this.
What authority can you deny members of Congress their oversight role?
If you don't have a business reason to be here,
you do not have authority, sir.
Are you making a decision for the Department of Education on your own behalf?
Don't even open the door to this building to members of Congress. We are not posing any threat here.
He's standing here today, blocking the door, and he can't give us a good reason why he's blocking this door.
That's incredible video. That, in particular, that last clip is Maxine Waters
yeah.
berating that security guard.
Yeah.
You've seen this over and over, actually, in multiple attempts to begin the process of cutting back government bureaucracy.
You know what's amazing? As a former member of Congress, they actually insult me because I want to know how many times they've gone to that building before. They've been in that city for years and years and decades, some of them, especially Maxine them. How many times has she ever gone to the Department of Education? No, she's responsible for the bureaucracy that's built up that does nothing for our kids. We know that America is failing in education. We know that. And parents out there know that as well, and they're tired of it. And it doesn't matter whether those parents are Democrats, Republicans, or independents. Moms care about their kids. They know that the future of their kids depends on their education, and shame on them for basically making a spectacle.
Speaking of a spectacle, we got a band that just warmed up down here below us, right on here on.
That's what they think. That's what they think.
Yeah. I don't know if we can take that shot, but you got dancers, you got quintessential New Orleans right below us. if we ever get bored, Governor, we can grab a bag of beads right here.
That's right. That's right.
We got a bag of beads that we can bring it up, the party up on the balcony. You mentioned him earlier, President Trump. He's going to be here on Sunday. But you were in D.C. recently. You were part of a contingent of governors, senators, congressmen that have been with the president. Action day after day, hour by hour. What do you sense? What do you feel? What do you hear about this administration?
Oh, my word. I sense the energy. I sense the energy from the everyday American citizen. I mean, what they're seeing, what he's doing is a reflective of their will. People want to see action. They're tired of the bickering. They're tired of the showboating. They want results. And that's what he's giving them, result after result after result.
It is. By the hour, Governor.
By the
hour.
He has changed the news cycle from 7 days to 7 hours.
You put this recently on X. You said you got to see the people's president. Donald Trump back in his rightful place last week. America is back. And for anybody wondering, the Diet Coke button is working.
Yeah, I mean,
Did you press the button for Diet Coke?
Absolutely. Do you think there's anything around President Trump that he wouldn't have working? Everything around him works.
Yeah. I don't know if there's a Diet Coke button here on this balcony over Bourbon Street.
It's a hurricane button.
I was going to say, but you can press the button, Governor, for a lot of different kinds of drinks.
That's right.
Maybe not a Diet Coke. Governor, great to see you.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks to the Fox family. We love having y'all.
Thank you so much. All right.